Welcome Miller's Monsters, and I have a horror movie review, and this is the review of The Blood Beast Terror from 1968. It's rated G, it's about an hour and 28 minutes long. No, there's not a lot of horrible gore, it's more the British thick paint-like blood, and you don't really see they cut from the kill scenes, but it does have Peter Cushing in it. And I was interested to see one of the movies I haven't seen from him. And, well, this is a bit interesting. We'll get into that in a minute. First of all, it is about a scientist who's working with genetics, and he's created a creature that is capable of transforming back and forth between a human, female, and a giant death head moth. And of course, the creature masquerades as the mad scientist's daughter, and Peter Cushing plays the detective that's put on the case because all these dead bodies are showing up. And at first, you might think it's a vampire because they're all lacking blood in them, but they have these long marks on their face. And, it's not Peter Cushing's best. It also stars Robert Fleming and the beautiful Wanda Ventham as our creature. And, it isn't. It just isn't the best movie he's been in. Let me put it that way. It is still wonderfully acted by Peter Cushing. The acting's not horrible. It's the story that's lacking in this movie, and it kind of him and Hawes, kind of like I'm doing it now, its way through the story, and it kind of loses its way after a little bit, and they, without naming Frankenstein, kind of goes into this play about Frankenstein that really doesn't have, and it's about a 5-minute section of the movie, really doesn't have any bearing on this story at all, unless I missed some cut scenes. I'm not sure, but the interesting part of the movie itself was that it did have these references to Frankenstein, a brief reference to vampires, all movies that Peter Cushing were in, whether it was on purpose or not, or the director Vernon Sewell and the writer Peter Bryan were just fans of those works. But it lost its way. The story's not compelling. The ending's kind of hokey in itself, but Peter Cushing does a wonderful performance as always. He just brings, I don't know what it is. I just was sitting there thinking, he brings such class to his performances, and it just seems like you're sitting there watching royalty really act in a movie. And it's sad to say that I am going to give this a 2.5 out of 5, but Peter Cushing had nothing to do with that. It's all story related. Even though I'm giving it a 2.5, if you like Peter Cushing, it's an interesting one to watch. So there you go. That's my review, and we'll get more Peter Cushing in his Frankenstein roles very soon.